Marcus Hale never expected the first contact hall to feel so heavy. The ceilings were high, shaped like glass waves, and the silver walls shimmered with alien patterns he could not read. Everything smelled faintly of something sweet and metallic, like a flower that grew on a cold planet. He tried to stay calm as he adjusted the collar of his dark blue Terran uniform. He had prepared for this meeting for months, but standing there among alien diplomats made him feel very small. Still, he reminded himself that humans had earned their place in this room. The Veyrathi were unlike any species Marcus had seen in the reports. Their skin shone softly, as if tiny stars lived under the surface. Their eyes were bright violet, and when they moved, they seemed to glide instead of step. They were known for their quiet minds and their powerful psionic senses. Humans did not understand those abilities, but they respected them. Marcus respected them. And yet, he could not shake the sense that tonight was going to be strange. He served as a diplomatic tech officer, which meant he was not supposed to stand out. His job was simple: support the communications systems, make sure their translation devices worked, and stay in the background. But when one of the Veyrathi approached him, every quiet thought he had been trying to hold fell apart. She stood at least a head taller than he did. Her silver skin glowed softly in the low light. Her long white hair hung behind her shoulders like flowing strands of ice. She looked at him with eyes that seemed to search deeper than the surface, as if she were reading not his face but something hidden far behind it. And then she whispered, "I know you, human." Marcus froze. The words were soft, but they cut through the noise of the hall. He stared at her, confused. He was certain he had never met this alien woman before. He would remember someone like her. He opened his mouth, but no sound came out. For a moment, he could only blink at her glowing eyes. She stood very still, watching him as if waiting for something. Her expression was not angry, not friendly, something else. Something Marcus could not name. Fear? Hope? Recognition? A sudden shift filled the hall. The other Veyrathi in the room turned in their direction. Their faces tightened. Their glow dimmed a little. A few of them whispered to each other in fast, sharp tones. Her words had broken some rule Marcus did not understand. He felt heat rise in his chest. Why was everyone staring? The alien woman spoke again, her voice low but steady. Marcus finally found his voice. "I'm sorry. We've never met." "That is what you believe," she replied. There was no anger in her tone, only certainty, as if she were pointing out a simple fact. Before Marcus could ask anything more, two Veyrathi stepped between them. One of them, a tall man with bright markings along his arms, bowed in apology to Marcus. "Forgive her," he said. His translator device gave his voice a soft metallic echo. "She is touched by visions. They cloud her mind." The woman did not look away from Marcus. "My mind is clear." The man ignored her and addressed Marcus again. "Our people do not rely on prophecy or dreams. We discourage them. She should not speak of such things." Marcus felt the tension rising. He lifted his hands slightly, trying to show he meant no harm. "It's all right. She didn't do anything wrong. She just said she knew me." The man's expression hardened. "That is the problem." Before Marcus could understand what that meant, the Veyrathi diplomats gently guided the woman away. She resisted at first, staring at Marcus until the last moment, as if she worried he would disappear. Then she allowed herself to be led out of the hall, her eyes glowing faintly even as she went through the doors. Marcus stood there alone, surrounded by curious stares. His heart was beating fast, and his skin felt warm, as if something inside him had been touched. What bothered him most was the look in her eyes. She had truly believed she knew him. Not in a casual way, but in a deep way, like someone recalling a lost friend, or a warning. A soft voice spoke behind him. "You handled that well." Marcus turned to see Captain Arden, commander of the Terran vessel Resolute, standing by his side. The captain was a calm man, older, with silver hair and a steady gaze. He held a small glass of blue Veyrathi drink, but seemed more focused on Marcus's expression. "What just happened?" Marcus asked. "An unexpected complication," Arden said. "The Veyrathi are cautious with anything involving visions or foresight. They push it aside, call it a sickness of the mind. She said she knew me." Marcus rubbed his neck uneasily. "And she seemed sure." Arden raised an eyebrow. "Do you believe her?" Marcus shook his head. "I don't know." "Good answer," the captain said. "Uncertainty keeps us alive." The rest of the diplomatic reception passed by in a slow, uneasy haze. Marcus tried to focus on work-checking translation nodes, adjusting the communication field, but his mind kept drifting back to that woman. Her voice, her stare, her certainty. When the event finally ended, Marcus walked through the long, curved hallway toward the ship's docking platform. The lights above him pulsed softly, following the rhythm of the station's life support systems. He expected the quiet to calm him. Instead, it made his thoughts louder. Why him? There were dozens of humans in the hall. Why walk past all of them to speak to him? As he reached a quiet corner near the exit, a faint sound stopped him. A whisper of moving air. He turned and saw her again, the alien woman standing partly hidden behind a tall pillar, as if she had been waiting. Marcus's breath caught. The station was supposed to be highly monitored. How had she slipped away from her guards? She stepped toward him slowly. Her glow was softer now, almost sad, as if something weighed on her. "Please," she said, "do not fear me." Marcus didn't move. "Why did you follow me?" "Because they would not let me speak," she said quietly. "And I must speak." He felt a cold shiver crawl up his back. "About what?" She lifted her hand but did not touch him. She seemed afraid he might step away. "I have seen your face before, not in dreams. In visions that feel like memory. You stand in a storm of light. Worlds burning behind you. A choice in your hand." Marcus shook his head. "That's impossible." "Is it?" she asked gently. "Your kind believes in the future you shape with your own hands. My kind fears the future, because we cannot stop seeing it. You are not meant to see what I have seen, but it is tied to you." Marcus forced himself to breathe. "I'm just a technician." "You are more," she whispered. "You carry something ancient. Something that speaks through you even when you do not know it." Marcus took a step back. "You're mistaken." Her eyes softened. Before he could ask more, distant footsteps echoed through the hall. 3 Veyrathi guards hurried toward them. The woman looked at Marcus with a sudden urgency. "They fear what I say. But you must not fear it." "Wait, why me?" he asked. She opened her mouth as if to answer, but the guards reached them too fast. They surrounded her, speaking sharply in their own language. She lowered her head, but her eyes stayed locked on Marcus. As they carried her away, she called out softly, "You will remember soon." Marcus stood frozen until the hall fell silent again. His hands were shaking. His breath felt too shallow. He did not believe in visions. He did not believe in fate. But something about her voice stayed with him like a mark on his mind. He returned to the Resolute with questions he could not answer. He reported the incident to Captain Arden, who listened carefully and then told Marcus to rest. But when Marcus lay in his cabin, the dark ceiling above him felt too close. He kept seeing her silver glow, her eyes, her final words, "You will remember soon." He did not know what he was supposed to remember. He did not know why an alien stranger looked at him with that kind of recognition. He only knew one thing. This was just the beginning. And whatever waited for him next was already moving in the dark, reaching for him through memories that were not his own. Marcus did not sleep well after the strange encounter. Every time he closed his eyes, flashes of silver skin and violet eyes appeared in the darkness. He tried to push the memory away, but her voice kept echoing inside him. You carry something ancient. He told himself it was nonsense, yet something inside him refused to let it go. Morning on the Resolute came with its usual routine. Lights brightened slowly, imitating a sunrise, and a calm chime announced the start of the duty cycle. Marcus got up, splashed water on his face, and looked at his reflection. He expected to look different somehow, changed by the strange things she'd said. But he looked the same: messy hair, tired eyes, and a slight frown. Nothing ancient about him. He sighed, put on his uniform, and headed to the bridge for his shift. When he arrived, Captain Arden was already speaking with a holographic image of the Veyrathi Council. Their glowing silhouettes floated over the central table, their expressions unreadable. Marcus stopped at the back of the room, not wanting to interrupt. We apologize for the disturbance last night, one of the Veyrathi said. Sarai of the Far-Seeing is under care. Her visions are unpredictable. Captain Arden nodded calmly. We understand. But my officer was approached twice. Is there something we should know? A brief silence followed. The Veyrathi exchanged glances, their glow dimming slightly. Finally, the speaker answered, Her visions are not accurate. They are a disorder of her mind. She believes she sees futures, but they are only illusions. Marcus watched quietly. Something about the explanation felt wrong. Sarai had not looked confused or broken. She had looked certain, more certain than anyone he had ever seen. Arden continued carefully. Still, she spoke of knowing my officer. She insisted on this, more than once. That is why she is dangerous, the Veyrathi replied. Her visions pull her toward individuals at random. Please do not give weight to her words. The holograms faded after a formal farewell. Arden stood silent for a moment, then turned to Marcus. How are you holding up? I'm all right, Marcus said, though that was not completely true. But I don't think she was confused. Arden studied him. You believe she knew you? I don't know what I believe, Marcus admitted. But she wasn't lying. There was something real in her eyes. The captain nodded slowly. Then, we need to approach this carefully. Curiosity is fine, but don't let imagination take over. Stay grounded. Marcus wanted to agree, but a heavy feeling stayed in his chest. The day carried on. Marcus worked on communication nodes, ran diagnostics, and adjusted translation programs. But he couldn't shake the sense that something was watching him, not a person, but a memory hiding behind a door he hadn't opened yet. In the afternoon, the chief scientist, Dr. Lyra Hahn, asked Marcus to report to the research deck. She rarely called him directly, so he hurried there with concern. Dr. Hahn was a serious woman with sharp eyes and short black hair always pinned neatly. She greeted him with a nod. You had contact with the Veyrathi woman, correct? Marcus blinked. Yes, twice. Why? Dr. Hahn tapped a screen, pulling up a strange spiral waveform. The Veyrathi Council sent us her medical file. They want us to understand her condition so we don't misinterpret her behavior. Do. Marcus stepped closer. The waveform looked like a twisting rhythm of light, pulsing softly. This is her psionic pattern, Dr. Hahn explained. Apparently, when she speaks or touches someone, her energy field changes. They monitor her closely. Marcus frowned. What does that have to do with me? That's what I want to know, she said. Their file shows an unusual spike in her readings during her interaction with you. It's far stronger than her reaction to anyone else. Marcus felt a chill crawl up his spine. Maybe she was emotional. Dr. Hahn shook her head. No. This is biological. Something about you triggered her more than usual. He didn't know what to say. He stared at the glowing waveform until it blurred before his eyes. Marcus, Dr. Hahn said more gently, I want to run a deep scan. just to rule out any unusual interaction between your brain activity and her psionic field. It's probably nothing. He nodded slowly. The scan took about 40 minutes. Marcus sat inside a circular chamber that hummed softly. Light patterns scanned across his body, from head to toe. He felt nothing, no pain, not even warmth, but when the machine shut down, Dr. Hahn's face had changed. She stared at the results on her tablet. Her eyes narrowed. "What is it?" Marcus asked. "There's something unusual," she said. His stomach tightened. "Unusual how?" She turned the tablet toward him. The image showed a faint, glowing shape near the center of his brain. A soft spiral of light, similar to Sarai's psionic waveform, but weaker, like an echo. "This shouldn't be here," Dr. Hahn said. "Humans don't produce this kind of neural pattern. It's not harmful, but it looks artificial." Marcus swallowed. "Are you saying something is inside my head?" "Not physically," she replied quickly. "More like a signal. A dormant structure. I've never seen anything like it in a human." Marcus felt dizzy. He sat down on a nearby bench. "So she was right? I have something ancient in me?" Dr. Hahn raised a hand. "We don't know that. Don't jump to conclusions. This could be something extremely old in human evolution. Something no one has noticed, because it never activated before." Marcus rubbed his face with both hands. "And it activated when she touched me." "It seems so," Dr. Hahn admitted. He sat there in silence, trying to process everything. Before either of them could speak again, the ship's alarms suddenly blared. A deep red light flashed across the walls. Captain Arden's voice echoed over the speakers. "All crew to stations. Unknown. Vessel approaching. Repeat. Unknown vessel. Approaching." Dr. Hahn looked at Marcus urgently. "Go. I'll analyze the scan later." Marcus hurried to the bridge. When he arrived, the main screen showed a dark, angular ship emerging from the shadows of space. Its surface was jagged, like it had been carved from stone. It did not match any known species in their records. "Kaelor Dominion," Arden said grimly. "We didn't expect them here." "Crossing. We didn't expect them here." Marcus had heard rumors about the Kaelor hostile, expansionist, ruthless. They believed in absorbing knowledge and technology by force. "Why are they approaching the station?" Marcus asked. "They're not," Arden said. "They're coming straight for us." Marcus felt his chest tighten. "Us? Why?" Arden looked at him with a seriousness Marcus had never seen. "Because they intercepted Verithy communications. They know Sarai spoke to a human about visions. And they believe you hold something valuable." Marcus's blood ran cold. The Kaelor ship sent out a booming signal through space. The translator tried its best to process the harsh sounds. "Terran vessel, deliver the human-designated Marcus Hale. You have 4 minutes." Marcus felt as if the air had vanished from the bridge. He stared at the screen, unable to move. "They want me," he whispered. Captain Arden stepped in front of him. "You are a member of my crew. We do not hand over our people. But if they think I have something—" "They're wrong," Arden said firmly. "And even if they weren't, we still wouldn't give you up." The Kaelor ship charged its weapons. Energy gathered at its forward cannons, glowing like hot metal. "Shields up," Arden ordered. The Resolute shook violently as the first blast hit. Sparks flew across the bridge. Marcus grabbed a railing, trying to stay steady. "We can't outrun them," the helmsman shouted. "They're faster." Another blast struck, bigger this time. Marcus felt the deck tremble like a living thing under stress. Arden's jaw tightened. "Prepare for evasive jump. We need to get away from this system." "Aft." "But the jump engines aren't fully aligned," the navigator warned. "We don't have time," Arden replied. Marcus looked at the screen again. The Kaelor ship loomed closer, dark and silent, except for its deadly glow. They wanted him. They believed he was a key to something ancient, something powerful. And worst of all, deep inside Marcus, something felt like it was waking up. A faint warmth in his mind. A pulse that matched the spiral pattern Dr. Hahn had shown him. He didn't understand it. But he knew one thing. The Kalor weren't going to stop. And the visions Sarai had spoken of, the storm of light, the burning worlds, the choice in his hand, they were no longer just strange words. They were becoming real. The ship groaned as the jump engines charged. Marcus gripped the console as the captain shouted one final command. Jump. The stars stretched into long lines of light, the universe around them twisting. The Resolute vanished into the unknown, fleeing with a secret Marcus didn't fully understand, and enemies who would cross the galaxy to capture him. The Resolute burst out of the jump into a quiet region of space. The stars around them were dim, like cold sparks scattered across a dark ocean. The ship drifted for a moment as its systems stabilized. The sudden silence after the violent escape felt strange, almost unreal. Marcus stood on the bridge, shaking from the jump. His heart still raced. He looked around at the crew, tired faces, worried eyes. No one spoke for a few long seconds. Then Captain Arden exhaled slowly. Status. Engines holding, the navigator replied. Shields recharging. Hull damage minimal. And the Kalor? Arden asked. No sign of pursuit. The helmsman checked again. We lost them, Captain. No. We. A wave of relief moved through the bridge. But it did not erase the tension in Marcus's chest. The danger was not gone. The Kalor would not give up. They wanted him, and they would track the Resolute through half the galaxy to get him. Captain Arden turned to Marcus. We need answers. Whatever you carry, it's causing all of this. Marcus swallowed hard. I don't even understand it. Arden nodded. Then we find someone who does. A quiet beeping suddenly echoed from the communications panel. The officer at the station frowned. Sir, there's an incoming request. From the Veirathi? Arden asked. No. Marcus felt his breath catch. Sarai? The officer nodded. She's requesting direct contact with Marcus. Arden looked at him. Do you want to talk to her? Marcus hesitated. He remembered her soft voice, her sad, glowing eyes, her words about ancient memories. She had tried to warn him. She had tried to explain. He nodded. Yes, put her through. The main screen flickered. Then Sarai appeared, sitting in a quiet room somewhere on the Veirathi station. Her silver skin seemed dimmer, as if she had been kept away from light. Her long white hair fell around her shoulders. When she saw Marcus, her expression softened with relief. You are alive, she whispered. Good. Marcus stepped closer. What is happening to me? The Kalor attacked us for me. Sarai closed her eyes briefly. I feared this. Once the Kalor learned of your connection, they would not stop. For what connection? Marcus asked. I don't understand any of this. Dr. Hahn found something in my head. A pattern. Like a signal. Sarai opened her eyes again, and they glowed with quiet sadness. Yes. The echo. And Marcus stared at her. The echo of what? Of those who came before us, she said. A species long gone. They touched the early humans. They left behind memories, buried deep inside. The Veirathi call it the first spark. But your people never learned of it. Captain Arden frowned. You're telling us humans have ancient alien memory patterns hidden in their DNA? Creased. 77-2? Yes, Sarai said softly. But they sleep. They were never meant to awaken until a time of great danger. She looked at Marcus with a mixture of fear and hope. You are the first to awaken it. Marcus rubbed the back of his neck, feeling dizzy. Why me? I do not know, Sarai said. But I saw you in visions long before I met you. You stand at the center of something vast. A weapon. A choice. A storm. We need more than visions, Arden said firmly. Sarai nodded. Then come to me. Marcus blinked. Come to the Veyrathi station? No, she said. They will stop us. They fear my visions too much. And they fear the Kalor even more. Her voice dropped. There is a hidden archive. It was left by the precursors. It is far from here, but I can guide you. The truth is inside it. The captain folded his arms. If the Kalor find us while we're traveling, they will, Sarai said quietly. But you cannot run forever. Knowledge is your only shield. Arden looked at Marcus again. It's your choice. Marcus felt the weight of every life on the ship. He felt the heat in his mind. The strange pulse that had begun since Sarai touched him. Something inside him whispered that this path was right. We go, he said. Captain Arden nodded slowly. Then, set a course. The Resolute moved through dark space for hours. Sarai remained connected through the screen, guiding them. Her voice was calm, like someone who had walked this path in dreams many times before. The crew listened quietly, though some were nervous. Even Dr. Hahn stayed on the bridge, watching the subtle changes in Marcus as they flew deeper into uncharted territory. Finally, they reached a massive region of floating dust, clouds thick, swirling, glowing faintly like fireflies trapped in fog. This is it, Sarai said. The archive of the first ones. The clouds parted as the Resolute approached. In the middle of the glowing mist floated a gigantic structure, shaped like a broken ring. It was old, older than any civilization Marcus had ever studied. Cracks ran through it like scars. Its surface shimmered with ancient energy. Marcus felt a strange sensation in his chest, like a soft warmth spreading outward. The closer the ship flew, the stronger the feeling grew. Sarai watched him from the screen. The Echo recognizes this place. The Resolute entered a large opening in the ring. Inside was a hollow chamber filled with faint blue light. It looked abandoned, but the air carried an ancient presence, something quiet, yet powerful. Marcus, Dr. Hahn, and Captain Arden took a shuttle down to the central platform. Sarai joined them from her own vessel, arriving quietly with 2 peaceful Veyrathi escorts who seemed loyal to her. When Marcus stepped out of the shuttle, he felt a pulse in his mind like something waking up. Sarai approached him slowly. This place will answer your questions. They walked toward a large circular device at the center. It was covered in symbols no one recognized. Yet Marcus felt as if part of him almost understood them. What do I do? Marcus asked. Sarai pointed. Place your hand on the center panel. In 10. Captain Arden stepped forward. Wait, we don't know what it will do. Sarai bowed her head slightly. It will reveal the truth. Nothing more. Marcus stepped toward the panel. His hand shook, but he pressed it against the cold surface. A bright light shot upward, surrounding him. The crew stepped back. Sarai watched, calmly. Marcus froze, as images filled his mind, flashes of an ancient civilization, tall beings made of shimmering light. He saw them standing before early humans. He felt their sadness as they prepared a great machine, a shield meant to protect younger species from cosmic storms. He saw them fall as a dark power rose against them. He felt their final thoughts, their last hope placed inside humanity. An echo, waiting for someone who could activate the memory. Marcus gasped as the light faded. He staggered, almost falling. It is true, she said softly. The precursors did not build a weapon. They built a shield strong enough to save entire systems. But before anyone could speak, the ground shook violently. The Kalor Dominion ship burst into the chamber, ripping through the outer walls with brutal force. Large metal claws tore open the ancient structure. Their ship hovered like a hungry beast, casting dark shadows. A metallic voice boomed through the chamber. "Surrender the human. We will take the key." Captain Arden shouted for everyone to take cover. Lasers burst out as Kalor drones swarmed the platform, firing rapidly. Marcus ducked behind a pillar, heart pounding. The warmth in his mind burned brighter than ever. Sarai shouted, "Marcus, the shield must be activated. Only you can do it." "But how?" he cried. "Use the echo," she said. "Trust it." Kalor drones closed in. Captain Arden and the crew fought them off, firing blasters and dodging attacks. Sparks lit the air. The ancient structure trembled under the assault. Marcus stared at the central device. The symbols glowed faintly. He didn't know how to activate it, but something inside him did. He ran out from cover. Laser fire scattered around him, but he didn't stop. He placed both hands on the panel. The echo awakened fully. Light exploded from Marcus, spreading through the entire chamber like a rising sun. The symbols lit up. The ring-like structure around them began to hum with power. A massive wave of energy burst outward, pushing the Kalor ship away like a leaf in a storm. The drones short-circuited and fell in sparks. The shield activated. A brilliant golden field expanded across space, creating a protective barrier large enough to cover nearby star systems. Marcus felt the echo calm inside him, its purpose fulfilled. Sarai placed a hand on his shoulder. "You have done what no one else could." Captain Arden approached with a tired smile. "Looks like humanity just became a lot more important in the galaxy." Marcus breathed slowly, his heart steady once more. "I didn't do it alone." Sarai smiled softly. "No, but it needed you." As the golden shield stretched across the stars, protecting countless lives, Marcus finally understood the strange certainty in her eyes the day she whispered to him, "I know you, human." She had been right. And now, the galaxy knew him too. The storm had come, and humanity had stood strong.